girerà quando sarà più libero.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I've got a couple of films that I'm developing for me to direct next, which I can't talk about because they haven't been announced. I mean, I've got a couple of what I like to do as a filmmaker is Fran Walsh, my partner, and I write scripts together, and we live together. We've been together for 25 years. And what we like to do is to develop projects quietly ourselves without people knowing about them, and we do it differently to how the film industry normally is, because normally when you develop a project, you connect with a studio, and the studio pays you to develop the script, and they own the property, and you write the script and budget it, and then the studio make the film. And there's a sort of a process that you go through. But we don't like doing that. What we like to do is to remain independent, and we write our scripts ourselves. We don't get paid for them. We just do it, quietly, which means that we can spend as long as we want to, because as soon as the studio starts paying you to develop a project, they have a deadlines, and they have an expectation that you're going to deliver by certain dates. And our lives are full of enough stress as it is that we like to avoid the idea of deadlines and things for our, especially creative process, because we want to be able to create in a vacuum in terms of not having to deliver something until you're happy with it. So Fran and I develop projects quietly. We don't talk about them with anybody, and we just, some of them work out, some don't. We make our mistakes in private, and if we decide to abandon something because it wasn't really what we thought it was, we can do that, and nobody knows about it. So that's just a process that we do, which is quite different to a lot of other filmmakers. And so we have a couple of projects for me to possibly direct, which are being worked on at the moment. So we'll talk about those in due course. And the other things I'm doing, I'm a producer on largely, which is The Hobbit, with Guillermo del Toro obviously directing it. And that's a lot of fun, because the Hobbit script writing, which we're doing at the moment, we've written one Hobbit script and we're halfway through the second, and it's going to be 2 parts. That's writing is always the most creative time of a project for me, because it's the least amount of logistical problems. There's no weather to worry about, and no budget, and no crew, and no schedule. You kind of have freedom to create, and it's a really a great joy to be writing scripts, because the film is born in your mind. You as you work on it, this movie, which is always the perfect movie, starts to form in your mind. The one you end up making is never perfect, but the one in your imagination always is, and it's the fun part. And we're really enjoying The Hobbit, and in a way, part of me is a little bit sad that I'm not directing it now. It was a decision I made about two years ago not to direct it, and now that we're writing it, I feel a little bit sad. But on the other hand, Guillermo's going to do a wonderful job, and I'm looking forward to seeing his Hobbit movie. But we are writing the script, and that is fulfilling a lot of my creative sort of desires for The Hobbit, and it's a lot of fun. And Tintin is another project that I'm producing for Steven Spielberg, who's directing it. I think Steven's a talented young man, will go far with his career. I'm trying to help him as best I can, get established in the film industry. So I think there's great things coming from Steven in the future. It's a weird experience, believe me. It's a weird experience to be working with Steven. It is like you're working with Father Christmas or somebody who you've grown up with. Edgar Wright described him as Father Christmas, which I thought was actually very accurate. But he's really, Steven. Everybody has opinions, obviously, about any filmmaker and whether you like their films or not. But the one thing I have learned about Steven, now that I've got to know him a bit, he's not just this sort of legendary name, is that he's a genuinely decent person who just is still very childlike in a way that I feel I am too. Like, we never really have grown up, and he's so excited about films. There's nothing cynical or jaded or sort of tired in Stephen's attitude. He's just this kid who talks about ideas and he gets himself so excited about it, and it's wonderful. It's a really inspiring presence to be in when he starts getting going. It's infectious and it's great. And then, so Stephen's done the first Tintin movie, which is being done with motion capture, but we're based on the artwork very much on Hergé's artwork, so it'll look like it's Hergé's designs from the comic book line as much as we possibly can. And then I'm due to write and direct the second Tintin movie, which Fran and I will look at doing that script probably 2010 towards the end of the year. Once The Hobbit's sort of up and running, that's underway.
E io volevo sapere, so che è tornato in sala di montaggio perché gli avevano chiesto insomma di aggiungere più violenza in questo film. Sì, scusi. So che è entrato in sala di montaggio